he's in position to get in, you know, start marching. Then he just tossed the paper, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Did you see that?
That's why I didn't make it in sorority.
That's all it be. You just see what he just did.
Because I'm a laugh. I'm a laugh. I'm like,
that's out of goofiness, not out of disrespect, out of goofiness. You know what I'm saying? So
and
it's
just
like,
wanting to make light of the situation. See, that's why
personality, bro. Personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because why you threw it like that, sir?
I don't think. What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with American reaction because we're Americans.
Right.
We're super excited about this video, guys. If you're new to us and we're new to you, make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 100K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
1920.
Really? That's what you're going to give me? That's as loud as you can be.
1920.
My goodness. Heaven forbid the day you have to yell at someone, "Stop, police, drop the knife!" because they're coming at you with an edged weapon. There's no whispering. There's no room for meek and mild in this job.
Yes, sir, boot camp. Ain't no place to be soft.
Count it up! 4, 1, 2, 3. Stand down.
These cadets are training to become members of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police,
Candad.
more commonly known as the Mounties. As the Red Surge, all cadets have to graduate from the RCMP's 26-week training program,
Everybody over!
which combines intense tactical training with customs and traditions
To the Queen. Queen to the Queen.
that are steeped in Canadian history. Every year, about 1,000 cadets graduate from the academy before joining the 20,000 RCMP officers serving across the country. On a bitterly cold week in December, we spent 5 days at the academy, where we saw different troops at various stages of the 26-week training program. On day 1, a new troop is welcomed by the Academy's commanding officer.
Everybody wants you to be successful. We're incredibly happy that you're finally sitting in these seats as members of Troop 29, and we want you to be successful, but we're not going to do it for you. You have to do it for yourselves.
The application process, which includes a polygraph test, can take about 8 months.
Everybody took a year out of your life to finally get here. We sometimes see cadets go home after 24 hours. It takes probably a couple of weeks to get used to the routine, so give it at least a couple of weeks. Work hard, have some fun.
Did he say it took them a year to get like in the seats, like the application process?
I kind of heard that, but it also sounded like he said it took a year out of everyone else's life.
Okay, well let's play this back.
Let's play it back.
Can take about 8 months.
Everybody took a year out of your life to finally get here.
Okay.
We sometimes see cadets go home after 24 hours. It takes probably a couple of weeks to get used to the routine, so give it at least a couple of weeks. Work hard, have some fun.
Big facts.
And good luck. Are we a kinder police organization? That is a comment that we actually verbally say out loud now. We're in the service industry. We're out there to serve the Canadian public. So if we create that type of environment, we're hopeful that the cadets will remember that, and when they are out in their various communities, that they will continue to work with the communities as they were trained.
Training happens here at RCMP Academy Depot Division, located in Regina, Saskatchewan, about 100 miles north of the U.S. border. It's a region of Canada known as the Prairie, where during our visit to Regina, sustained winds combined with the low temperature made it consistently feel about negative 25 degrees Fahrenheit. The starting salary for a constable in the RCMP is about $53,000 a year. After 3 years, it increases to about 86,000. Applicants must be at least 19 years old and willing to relocate anywhere in Canada, including remote provinces like Yukon and Nunavut. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police, as we know it today, was founded in 1920.
The Canadian Rockies, the legendary Mounties, are the symbol of law and order in this vast domain.
Although they're called Mounties, the RCMP isn't a mounted police force. And horses are only used for ceremonial events.
Okay. Answer my question.
We're not what you see in the movies from Hollywood. People see the red jackets, pointy hats on black horses, and they think that's what the RCMP is. But we're police officers first and foremost, and I think that's probably the biggest misconception. The reality is policing back roads in small towns by yourself. We are a police force. That's the biggest message.
Okay.
And it all.
Question. And if you're new here, we ask a lot of questions to our supporters. It's interactive experience, okay? So question. So here we have what? Police, we have sheriff, we have state troopers.
Sergeants.
Yeah, sergeants, border patrol. We have all these different things, right? So is this the Mounties? They say you have to be able to relocate anywhere. So is Mounties, police, sheriff, border patrol all in one? Being able to be multifaceted in wherever they need them to be, or like how they work? Let us know.
I get your question. I'm curious
different
too.
Divisions,
yeah, we got different. Yeah, 100%. I get your question.
Starts here at Depot.
I need you to stand up. You're under arrest for assault with a weapon.
Where most of the training is focused on mastering police procedure, practiced in realistic scenarios. Where cadets play the roles of both the officer and the suspect.
Anything that you do say to me can be used as evidence. Do you understand?
Yeah, I just want you to learn I messed up. I didn't mean to. I'm not that type of person.
Okay, good to know. Could I get a 1028, 1029 pros on a Saskatchewan marker when ready?
10-4, go ahead.
We're trying to prepare them for the realities of policing.
Do you have anything on you that could hurt me or you?
Policing isn't an easy profession. We make the programs such that they will be physically and mentally prepared. But they also have to have common sense. They have to know their powers of arrest. They have to know the law. So it's a real combination of two things that need to happen all at once.
Male and female cadets train together at Depot and even face each other in Police Defensive Tactics Training, or PDT.
Obviously, in policing, we don't choose our opponent. We're not going to be always be matched with a normal size like you would see in a sport of boxing or MMA.
That's good.
Most of our cadets come here without any backgrounds at all. Some of them have never been involved in a fight, so it's very difficult for them to understand how to deal with a situation like that.
Cadets are faced with additional disadvantages. Sometimes they're only allowed to use one hand, or they're only allowed to use leg strikes. Another exercise requires one combatant to spin around in circles before the fight begins.
If you get into a fight with an opponent out there in the street, it could happen that you get hit in the head, and that can create like some kind of dizziness. A little bit of a concussion type of scenario. We want to make sure that they have this kind of understanding without putting them into a concussion, obviously, because we don't want them to be hurting themselves.
But with punches flying, minor injuries do occur.
Sometimes some things like that happen. We try to mitigate that as much as we can, so it's almost a good thing that he can feel that, so then if it happens in the field, he knows how to deal with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's okay. Put your hands up, okay?
No, my hands are up.
Just like how I hear, you know,
Listen.
I don't know if they're going to mention any of these things, but just like I hear, you got to get tased, you got to get pepper spray, you got to go through all the things that your person that you're going to be arresting is going to go through. So,
yeah, this is giving me, you know, a good overview so far. But in the beginning, it kind of sounded like a military type of boot camp.
I think they all got like the same level, like blueprint almost.
Yeah, the blueprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same formula, just about.
You're under arrest! Down on the floor! Cadets attempt to subdue an aggressive assailant and apply handcuffs But it's not easy. To make the scenario more challenging, cadets are matched up with assailants who are bigger and stronger than they are, whose objective is to try and grab the gun and baton from the cadet's duty belt.
The reason that we do this is basically to allow the police officer to reassess the totality of that situation. And now that jeopardy has raised for the police officer, they should be able to reassess that situation.
I got his legs.
Communication is the big key here. They want to communicate with their partner and then come up with a new plan based on their risk assessment, which is always evolving.
Nobody dies at depot. This is the place to make mistakes, because when police officers make mistakes, people get hurt. Some of the stuff they see and will see is not nice, and we need to help prepare them for that physically and mentally.
Gas chamber?
Being exposed to pepper spray is a common part of law enforcement training, and it's no different in the RCMP.
We want them to get an appreciation for using pepper spray, so they understand essentially that it's painful, and so they understand that it works, it's effective, and that they can fight through it if they are exposed to OC spray themselves. They do 50 jumping jacks, so we just want to get their heart rate up just to simulate as if they were in some sort of a physical altercation perhaps. They then go into the actual chamber where it's been contaminated with pepper spray. You've already gone 1019, I said just make the arrest. And then they have to make an arrest on the subject inside that chamber, keeping their eyes open, being aware of their surroundings, and fighting through that painful experience.
But at depot, cadets take it to another level.
You don't sound good. Come over here.
After being exposed, cadets exit the facility and perform an arrest in the freezing cold.
Would you like to speak to a lawyer when we get back to the office?
They probably barely notice the cold when they're out there immediately after the exposure. It's only once that the effects have worn off that they've realized it's actually cold outside. It actually will help somewhat with numbing that pain of the pepper spray once they get back into a warmer environment.
Good.
Just had to adjust the volume.
See, I don't know. I'm pretty sure the gas chamber will be a little bit difficult, more difficult than the pepper spray. But my dad, in training to be a Navy SEAL, he said, "Baby," I said, "Dad, what was the worst part of boot camp?" He said, "That gas chamber. I'll never do that again."
Man, feeling choked?
Yeah, suffocation.
Man.
Is everybody able to hear me over there, lane 1? Can you hear me okay? You guys can hear me okay? Okay, the things that I say are so important.
Cadets fire between 800 and 900 rounds during their 65 hours of training on the firing range.
Probably 15-20% of the cadets that show up have some sort of firearms experience, whether that's pistol, shotgun, rifle, or hunting. We're able to take someone with absolutely no pistol or firearms experience and make them quite good shooters and successful through the program. So week 2, they're actually issued their service pistol, Smith & Wesson 5946. That is their pistol, and it will follow them through their career until they so retire or move on to something else. Firearms is a very important skill set to have, and if the day ever comes that you actually need to rely on your pistol to protect a human life, it's going to be a situation where we hope that you're proficient and you're prepared for that day when it does come.
I was here yesterday. I'm trying to make a living.
Drop the knife, sir!
You're always jacking me up! Okay, we're going to pause this scenario.
Cadets interact with a video in which role players create a scenario that tests judgment.
Sir, can I see your hands?
You already.
And how to de-escalate a threatening situation.
So far, I'm really got a high level of appreciation for what they go through. And again, you can see that a lot of people aren't going to be 100% experienced with some of these levels of policing. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the roughening up, the handling the gun, the dealing with the
pepper spray?
The pepper spray, things of that nature. Like, people not going to have all that experience. So watching them go through all this stuff, showing that when they do come into society, they have an understanding, you know?
Right.
A big understanding.
I love the psychological elements of it, like, you know, being dizzy, them putting them in the cold after going through all of that and still having to, you know, arrest the person. Like, I'm loving the little twists and turns that they're putting.
If you're not built for it, they're going to make sure you're built for it afterwards. Oh, yeah.
The judgment simulation room is also equipped with what's known as a shoot-back cannon,
Oh, Lord.
which fires projectiles at cadets.
We can basically give them a little shot with the shoot-back cannon, and it will remind them to go use cover. So it only needs once or twice, and then they quickly get behind cover.
Every cadet is required to pass the PAIR test.
My troops steady up.
PAIR stands for Physical Ability Requirement Evaluation.
You're gonna run hard and everyone's gonna get superior today?
Oh, yeah. And it's used to determine a cadet's physical ability for duty.
Ready, go.
Pace yourself, buddy.
The PAIR is the current job standard test that we use. It's the measure of success for fitness and physical ability when cadets graduate from depot. So if a cadet is unsuccessful at PAIR, then they will not graduate from our program. The cadets will run 6 laps of an obstacle course that includes running over a set of stairs twice in each lap, as well as jumping over some lower hurdles and going over a 3-foot barrier, laying on the ground and getting up. So they go through that circuit 6 times, and then they move into what we call the push-pull station that replicates that altercation, and they need to push and maneuver a weight 6 times. The weight is 70 pounds.
350.
Good job, Lou.
This look fun. This look like something that I would do. Just to be like, I need to get in that class. That look a little entertaining.
Standard for what we call a pass is 4 minutes and 45 seconds. In policing, the physical demands are unpredictable, and it's difficult to do your job well or safely if you are unfit.
Cadets are also timed in scenario-specific training like this exercise, where the objective is to load up a truck bed with various life-saving supplies. Each item weighs about 50 pounds, and the goal is to safely load the truck in less than 2 minutes.
202.9.
Training moves outside.
The safety part?
When cadets work with a dog handler.
No, loading a truck with safety supplies. What would they need? See, that's why I'm still trying to understand what exactly is a Mountie. Is there like city police, sheriff, border patrol? Like, I'm still kind of confused just on that part. So what would they need this exercise for?
Unless they know that the car that they have requires a certain amount of first aid.
But wouldn't that be like ambulance?
Yeah, that would be. I'm not sure with this one either. Because I've never seen, like, from my understanding, like, when the officers do get a car, they don't run to
Like they're
everything is already on them, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
their vehicles are already together.
Mm-hmm. Everything's on their person as well, so.
This is Bailey. She was my partner as a police dog. I spent 7 years on the road with her as a police dog, and we were partners. She goes on what are called uniform runs. It's supposed to simulate running with a dog handler, pursuing a suspect, or looking for a lost person.
Come on, let's go!
We end up going
I wonder
over a
now,
lot
this is something you guys can answer. Is it a certain field you have to be in to get a dog?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Because you see officers, they have dogs, but they got the drugs and the things of that nature.
Maybe
That way
certain
you can
neighborhoods.
that way you get a dog. Okay.
Fences when we're chasing bad guys. It's just the nature of how our work is.
Where's the barrel?
To try and get a dog over a fence, our main concern is the safety of the dog. We don't want the dog getting hurt chasing somebody, and so there's certain ways to get the dogs over the fence.
Everybody the harness.
They utilize their harness, so what we usually do is get one person at the top of the fence, sit on top of the fence, and then I hand the dog up to them. And their job is to make sure she doesn't come back over the fence or jump down the other side and hurt herself. We're lucky with Bailey. Bailey's very friendly and very easy to work around. The cadets use it as a bit of a learning tool to show them how to be around the dog and what the dog looks like when it's actually out working.
What a tremendous opportunity. A turning point for this troop.
Cadets have to pass a rigorous inspection of their barracks, known in the RCMP as pits. Cadets lay out all components of their duty belt on their beds and stand by while an officer inspects all of their clothing and personal belongings.
See, this reminds me of military.
Yeah,
That's why I love like them showing us the different exercises that they do, the different stages that they have to go through. But it's like, so on duty, do they sleep at the base?
Or is this just for
like at home?
The week period that they're going through for the training?
Yeah.
Like, are they sleeping there for the training because they're up and down every day with these exercises that's very time consuming?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the case.
Maybe.
I don't think they, you know,
Like,
once
to
they
make
pass, I don't think they're there, like, sleeping up all day.
Okay, so maybe this is like to make sure that they're, you know, proficient in making sure that they
Cleanliness.
Yeah. You know,
Maybe.
always put together. Don't forget nothing at home. This not a regular job.
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
just go back home for your lunch. You know, things like that.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Look what you have done. A cow sacrificed their life for your belt. Look what you've done to it. How they do present their pits and lay out their pits is an extension of themselves, and it does translate to other areas across the cadet training program.
It is minus 25 right now, and you're out here in a forge cap. You're out here not prepared for duty. This entire troop will be at learning assistance tomorrow morning at 7:30. Wear your fur cap and carry your hat here so you can wear it for class.
What sets the RCMP apart is its uncompromising attention to detail. Which is on full display in the drill hall.
I could be serious, but if my drill instructor is doing some stuff that I'm unfamiliar with, like he's in position to get in, start marching, then he just tossed the paper, and I'm like,
yeah. Did you see that? That's why I didn't make it in the sorority.
That's all. You just see what he just did.
Because I'm a laugh. I'm a laugh. I'm like,
that's out of goofiness, not out of disrespect, out of goofiness. You know what I'm saying? So
and
it's
just
like,
wanting to make light of the situation. See, that's why
personality, bro. Personality.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because why you threw it like that, sir?
I don't think I could deal with someone screaming in my face without me laughing at them.
No, I couldn't deal with nobody screaming in my face. That's why I didn't make it to the sorority.
Man. And hours practicing marching, maneuvers, and customs.
Shout it out! It's an extremely valuable component of training here because it teaches cadets that sense of discipline, self-control, and composure.
You need to see a chiropractor or something?
That, yes.
Put your feet forward.
It's about conditioning the mind. Simple commands, you respond. You see
during these times, do they crack jokes at him?
Not at all. Everything is very serious.
Yeah, I'm saying, but in the seriousness, do he say something funny?
I don't think
I can't believe you came out here today with your hat missing, son.
You better hold that laughter
how you
in.
miss your hat, dog? Like,
see, that's why every profession isn't for everybody. That's why it's not. Okay. That's why it's not. See, I love to express
you don't know how to
myself.
tie a tie? How you come out here with your tie half done? Like, I would have been laughing at, and then we would have got back, I would have been on them. I would be like, bro, you got this, but yeah.
No, but I don't think you could do that as a Mountie.
Nah, it's a Mountie.
threat, you respond. Even though it looks very ceremonial in nature, it's all connected back to doing policing.
The bottom of the flap, all the way down here. Lower it, the bottom here. That's where it should be. Why are those things important in our uniform?
Public perception of us.
What happens if...
See, and now how she's doing it wouldn't be a laughing matter. You know what I'm saying? How she's talking to him and how she's making him understand what he did wrong and why it's important for him to have it a certain way. And then educate him at the same time, having them verbally communicate back.
Yeah.
Piece of cake. I understand that. That wouldn't be a laughing matter. But if somebody clowning him about like the drill instruction saying, son, how you missed 2 inches of where your tag's supposed to be? You out your rabbit brain? I would have been like, yo, call him a rabbit.
Oh, Lord. See, no, they would have been like, sir, you is not fit for this.
Who chocolate?
Dion.
You would have got a trouble too for talking.
We have poor public perception.
Lack of faith.
It's not about buttons and zippers, and it's not about marching. Everything has a connection back to policing. Attention to detail in your uniform translates to looking for what's missing, looking for what might be evidence when you get out into the field.
I like that. Hold up, wait, so y'all don't have that stereotype of the donuts, right?
I was thinking about that when I was watching them run. They can't.
No,
you gotta pass it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
but
saying?
the stereotype of going to eat donuts because that's the only thing open overnight. Well, early in the morning overnight.
Coffee and donut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like the stereotype of our people.
There's a name for it though. I think it's called like the hole or something.
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
Drill practice culminates in a ceremony known as the Sergeant Major's Parade.
They've been through a lot. They about to pass now.
26 weeks.
And every week, there's a special guest in attendance.
More than half.
A 28-year-old man with special needs named Matthew.
He has come to the RCMP Depot Parade on Tuesdays for the past 6 years, and it's his like ultimate thing. This is what he looks most forward to, is being able to come here and have this relationship that he's developed with the drill unit.
Oh, orange can? On the other hand?
It's just tremendous. Like, they've just sort of taken him under their wing, and he has his own uniform. You know, they made him an honorary cadet.
I like that.
Although the Mounties are known for their iconic scarlet tunic, this is the uniform you'll actually see a modern Mountie wearing on duty. But the red serge remains a defining characteristic of the RCMP, used as the formal attire for ceremonial events. The uniform comes together here, where a team of more than 20 tailors alter the uniforms to the specific measurements of each cadet.
We take them apart, we put them together, and do the alterations. We like to see the smile on their faces when they come in and, get fitted. When they receive the tunics, and they know that, they're wearing a prestigious garment.
The week before graduation, cadets attend what's known as the regimental dinner, held in the officers' mess. It's a tradition that, according to the RCMP, media has not been allowed to attend before now.
It exposes them to the importance of our history. We adhere to some very old traditions that we've inherited from the British Army and the Canadian Army that we've made our own.
To the Queen!
To the Queen!
One seat at the table is left unoccupied to honor the memory of the more than 240 RCMP officers who have died in the line of duty.
It's really a culmination of that family piece that we talk about right from the beginning, that building of that esprit de corps, sitting there together as the corps, celebrating the organization that they're just about to join.
Before they graduate, cadets take part in the oath ceremony. This troop took their oaths in French. After taking the oaths, the cadets remove the epaulets from their uniforms, signifying that they're no longer cadets.
Wow.
They've become members of the Mounted Police. They grow 2 inches and they look so proud. And their families and their friends, when they see them, are so proud of what they've achieved.
Yeah, some long weeks.
Canadians trust the RCMP and have for a very long time. It's fragile, and we have to make sure that we maintain that.
Man, shout out to Canada. You feel me? You guys showed a lot of light on what you guys go through. And again, I just think that's a big level of appreciation from us, because we don't get to see the inside scoop of any police force, really. Really don't get a chance to see that,
Nope.
And then it just brings the questions, you know what I'm saying? Like, they go through everything that they go through to be psychologically fit for the warfare and for the things they have to face when policing the neighborhood in a good way. Yeah. But then you still have that one bad apple, that one little hiccup. And it kind of makes me think to how you even come to this conclusion to make these mistakes. But yeah, you go through these courses that are so high profile, so level headed, so in your face.
Yeah.
And then you get back on the field and then you forget. And I'm not saying this for anybody, but I'm just saying from our experience, from how things has been set up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It just don't make sense to me sometimes. But this right here, this was on a dime. Yeah. Definitely on a dime.
I saw the dignity and the commitment to their country.
A lot, yeah.
This, because nobody, that's over half of a pregnancy. Okay? Mm-hmm. I've been pregnant a couple times. And, yeah, that's very rigorous, and just on the mental, you know, and this is potentially a lifelong career for many of them.
Yeah.
You know, so.
We do mention that a lot of officers need to go through some psychological testing before they can.
Yeah, I would have liked to see more of that. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, while this is more on the mental, that kind of is a stage of psychological testing. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going through everything you're going to put a person through, depending upon the level that they are when you go to, diffuse a problem. So,
and it took them a whole year to even get to the academy, so we didn't even see that part, you know,
real
of
talk.
what it took for them to get there.
That's just a tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. Yeah, so
big appreciation. Good job, you guys.
We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you like to support the channel that way, as well as our reaction request form is in our description box below. We'll see you soon.
Peace.